Advanced Combat Discipline Instructor's room. Jaune, seat. Blake sat sweating as she wilts at his stern gaze. John, I have a gift at reading people, and you're so obvious that it practically hurts to watch. You know, you're my favorite student amongst the problem children, but your recent behavior is making me second guess that you're a problem prodigy. She looks down ashamed. John, Miss Belladonna, I told you once if there's a problem you talk to me. Your well-being is my responsibility. I may not be certified in therapy, but I know what trauma looks like. As she looks at him shocked. John, whatever it is, it will remain in this room and between us. Headmaster Oshpin allowed you to enroll here for a reason, and I have no right to object to that. I just want to understand you. She looks down. Blake, I had a relationship with someone in the farm. Jaune. Blake, I thought he believed in our cause, but John, he only believed in his own. Blake looks at him. John, I've met and read of many individuals that cause the worst kinds of changes due to selfishness. Blake, I should have seen the signs. I should have tried to change his mind. John, no one can truly change someone's choice, Blake. The best we can do is influence them. But the bottom line rests with them. Their failures are not your responsibility, it's theirs. Blake, I see. John, and to be blunt, your choice in relationships is unhealthy. Then an anime arrow hits her in the head. Fourth wall break. One is toxic, the other is creepy, and the last doesn't make sense. One is toxic, the other is creepy, and the last doesn't make sense. You figure out which one is which. Blake's ears droop under her bow. John, so, what have you been up to? And don't bother even lying. I can tell. Blake, I've been researching about the White Fang, and I have a clue at where they're gonna be. John, Blake, as he massaged his temples. You can't keep going after a criminal organization, especially that you're not experienced or certified. Asterisk sigh, asterisk, alright. I expect a raise from Oshpin for all of this kudu. John, let's discuss this with your team if they aren't on it. Blake, knowing them, they'll just get involved regardless. Jaune, alright. The pair leaves to address the problem. Later, RWBY dorm room. Yang. Has anyone seen Blake? Weiss. I hope she didn't run away again. RWBY. Maybe we should look for her. She hasn't been resting lately. Then the door swung open. RWBY, blah. As she stopped looking at the instructor. John, your teammate has something to say to you girls. But he stopped and raised his hand towards the window. As it blew open, and then he pulled and brought two idiots in the room. John, I knew that you were nothing but trouble, and who's this your accomplice? He looks down at the monkey faunus and the beta male. Then a heeled shoe smashed down in front of Sun's face as he looked up at the hateful glare of Blake. Blake, what are you doing here? John, I was interviewed by Vale PD about a thief who's a monkey faunus and came from Mistral, who has a pile of violations. Sun begins to sweat as Neptune look is at his leader. The girls were now on guard as Blake was also even more apprehensive of the bad example for Faunus. Sun, look, I can explain. John, illegal entry, theft, resisting arrest, stalking, now peeping. Is Mistral really that lax in their enforcement of their rules? Neptune, Sun, what the hell have you gotten yourself into? John, don't drop your partner under the bus. You are guilty of peeping too, you know. Yang began cracking her knuckles. Weiss now had Murdenaster and points it at the hooligans. RWBY didn't know what to do. Blake was readying Gamble Shroud. Then suddenly Glinda appears at the door. Glinda, what is going on here? John, we caught these two peeping toms sneaking around Team RWBY's window. Glinda glares at the two, who looks up to the silhouette of Glinda with red glowing eyes and a blazing fire in the background. She then lifted the two up with her semblance as she prepares a proper beat. À détention. Glinda, I will deal with these miscreants. I leave you to your business, Mr. Ark. Jaune, have a smashing good time, Miss Goodwitch. She then leaves with a screaming pair of women, then Yang interject with a tasteless joke. Yang, pretty professional relationship of you two, huh? He then looks at her. She then shuts up. Jaune, making jokes of an active professor or instructor is punishable by demerits. Weiss, wait, nothing in the school guidelines says anything about that. Jaune, I am implementing them as I will propose it to the headmaster. I have no doubt that he will reject it, as I can see children have done nothing but give me headaches. Weiss, excuse me, sir, but when have we done so? Jaune, you asking. No demanding that you be made leader. Miss Belladonna getting involved with criminal prevention. Blake just looks down. Yang, you don't have to be mean about it. Jaune, you're one to talk, Xiaolong. You have 5 demerits compared with Miss Schnee's 2 and Belladonna's 3 and Ruby's 1. Ruby, what did I do? Jaune, allowing a simple accident escalate into a full-blown food fight with my little sister. And giving Miss Goodwitch another headache. RWBY, I'm sorry. Yang, what did I do? Jaune, private property damage. Junior, school property damage. Disturbing class with your jokes. Making jokes of the instructor, and lastly sending a student to the infirmary for hair. Yang, hey, it takes a lot of work to keep this looking good. Jaune, please, Xiaolong, we all lose hair. Most due to stress, age, and fatigue. Yang just strokes her hair, whimpering. Jaune, this is not why I'm here. But what Miss Belladonna has brought to my attention. RWBY, what is it? Jaune, now listen to me very carefully.